right, before this cheesecake collapses under the weight of its own Biscoff biscuits, because it sure is beginning to 55p a slice. Now it doesn't quite look like the picture I was intending, but how on earth did I get it down to 55p a slice when you can imagine you could probably pay £3 plus in any shop? Admittedly, they probably look a lot better because it is slowly collapsing. It is, you know, I made it with my own cream cheese, stroke soft cheese. That's how I got it down to such a good price. But let's come and have a look at the ingredients. Okay, I've got double cream that I've already whipped. This is my own cream cheese that I made. Really simple, and actually this costs 50p. So if I'd bought 500 grams of, or it would have had to have been 600 grams because they sold in 200 gram pots of cream cheese, that would have cost £6. I mean, that's on an average spend at Lidl, say. So I actually used reduced whole milk from Payne's that made just under 700 grams of cream cheese. It's really simple, so easy, and you know exactly what's in it as well, which is basically yogurt, very thick yogurt with salt and a dash of lemon, and that makes cream cheese. It's unbelievable. It absolutely tastes like it. So I still have about 200 grams left to use to sort of make as a cream cheese, like add chives or whatever I'd like. But this is going to be for the cheesecake, which is absolutely fabulous. So I have icing sugar. I got the Biscoff and the Biscoff biscuits from B&M actually. Really good price, £1.39. I actually need all of this to go as part of my Biscoff recipe. I've ground two Biscoff biscuits as for the topping, so they're set aside. And they're going to be sort of decorated for the top. The rest of the Biscoff biscuits are actually in with the digestives. I ground them down. I don't have any kind of blender or anything like that, so I just put them all in a loaf bag, old loaf bag, and basically bash the hell out of them. So there's a mixture of Biscoff biscuits and digestives. Just it really, in fact, because I only bought one pack of Biscoffs, helps keep the costs down, because this actually works out at 55p a slice, which is pretty amazing. I've already melted the butter. I did that a little bit earlier. It just helps time frames. So we're going to actually, next step is to basically get that into there, mix it, get it into there, get that in the fridge, and then we can kind of crack on and make our cream cheese base. Cheesecake base even. The decoration will actually happen tomorrow because that's easier for me. I mean, but you can leave it for a maximum of 5 to 6 hours once everything's set, you know, in the fridge if you sort of don't want to wait till the next day. But let's do the biscuit base first, and then crack on. While that's in the fridge setting, we can crack on with the rest. Okay, first off, we leave the cream to the side. We don't want that. We're going to fold that in once we've mixed everything else in first. So cream cheese. I will borrow a spatula though. Doesn't matter if it's got a bit of cream on it. Bit of vanilla extract, a teaspoon. 200 grams of Biscoff, and this was £1.39 in B&M, and it's exactly 200 grams. So I will scrape out what I can with a spoon. Smooth or crunchy, it's fine either way. I picked the smooth. I really wasn't thinking about it, so it was just a sort of accidental. But the recipe says smooth or crunchy, up to you. And finally, the icing sugar. Well, not quite finally, but before we sort of fold the double cream in. And then whisk until fully combined before we add the double cream. Right, I possibly should have sieved my icing sugar because it was very lumpy, but next time I'll remember that. Okay, next we're going to fold in the whipped cream. Okay, I did need to sort of whisk it a little bit at the end just to kind of really combine it because it was looking a little bit lumpy, but I'm quite happy with that. Right, let's get the biscuit base out. I will be setting aside some of this because I want to kind of use it as a decoration, so I'm not going to put all of it on there. I'm going to save some to pipe for the decoration, and but that's tomorrow. So let's get most of this on, but not all of it. I'm not 100% sure if it will work because it's quite runny at the moment, but maybe it will set in the fridge. I don't know. We'll have to check that one out. Because I really was hoping for decorating pipe double cream, but I needed all the double cream I had for the actual base. But never mind, we'll work around that. I will save it just in case though, because there is plenty, absolutely plenty. Right, let's get this in the fridge and that, although I'm going to put it in a newer bowl. And this is I'm going to leave this in the fridge overnight, or 5 to 6 hours, depending on what time scales you've got, but minimum 5 to 6 hours or overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow. I think I just did a whole piece and I didn't press record. What an idiot. However, I got to this point thinking I was recording. It's oh my gosh. Right, keep it still, keep it still. I've been putting the biscuits on. What I thought was to a little clever time lapse, but hey ho, they are slightly collapsing actually. I think the cheesecake, I think we need to act fast basically to get this to, you know, showroom state. Let me just angle the camera. There we go, perfect. Quickly now, because it's set, but it's kind of struggling a little bit with the weight of the biscuits. There we go. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but you know, it is slightly collapsing, as you can see on the edge. I have added a little bit more of the dusting, the Biscoff dusting, to kind of like help. And my little piped bits have kind of lost definition. However, I'm not unhappy with that, and let's go for the taste test, and really that's ultimately what we were after. Right, let's crack on and taste test this possible beauty. I don't know. Oh, right, I've put the cheesecake back in the fridge because I think I'm not sure why it seemed very set when I first got it out, and then it slowly started to kind of melt. It's semi-set, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but I mean, come and have a closer look. I've just taken the biscuit off. See if, oh, lift it up a bit. There is a biscuit base underneath there. Look. Oh dear. There's the biscuit base. It actually very rock hard. I'm not sure why that happens either. Am I pressing down too hard? I mean, cheesecake experts, let me know, because I did find that on my last cheesecake that I made, following from the same recipe maker I found online. I will put a link to her. She has a cheesecake website which is extraordinary. I mean, it's got so many variations of cheesecake in it. It's amazing, and this is one of hers. Oh, I'm steaming up my glasses. Oh, it's actually quite warm. Oh, it's it's cheesecake. It tastes like cheesecake. It's just not setting very well. Now, I don't know why that is. Absolutely delicious. The cheesecake itself has got that lovely, very faint Biscoff taste. Really, really delicious. But my base is quite rock hard. Personally, I don't mind that when I'm actually eating it, but when you're kind of using your spoon to cut into it. Oh, the base is so lovely. I love cheesecake. I love cheesecake base, the base. I really do. But it is like, oh, it's quite hard. But delicious. A bit of the biscuit. You know, I've never had a Biscoff biscuit before. This is my first time. Excuse me. Yeah, it's got a lovely taste. It's got, I mean, I've had a Biscoff. I think I have had a Biscoff. No, I don't think I have. I was just trying to think, what would I have had? Oh, I don't know. But you know what? That's lovely. Oh, it tastes so good. I'm slightly disappointed with my own cheesecake kind of failure. Cost-wise though, 55p a slice. And I worked this out because obviously my own soft cheese, and maybe this is why it hasn't set. Let's be honest, it could be down to my own soft cheese made from yogurt, and I will put a link to the description on how to make that. It's so easy, it's unbelievable. What if I'd have needed 500 grams of soft cheese, I would have had to buy 600 grams because they come in 200 gram pots, £2, 9p a pot tub in Lidl as far as I know. I don't buy those at the moment, obviously for Beauvais reasons, because they're sourced in Germany. I've got no idea. So I make my own now. And it tastes like cream cheese. It's unbelievable. And you know what's in it as well, which is basically milk. So my milk I bought was reduced to 70p, Payne's milk. So I used that to make the yogurt. But when you strain the yogurt, instead of sort of straining it for a day or for your yogurt, you strain it for 4 or 5 days and it creates cream cheese. And then you add salt and lemon, a squirt of lemon, and it tastes like cream cheese. It's unbelievable. And so that's what I used for this. And it tastes delicious. But again, the setting. Any tips to do that again? Because I will do it again with my own soft cheese, but I want to ensure that it sets properly. So lovely. Oh, right, well, I've got a cup of tea on the go. I'm going to carry on enjoying this. Serve some up to the family. Happy days. Slightly disappointed with the setting, but we can't have everything. You know, I'm looking forward to reading the tips and tricks of you cheesecake experts out there, because I sure ain't one, but I'm trying, and this is my second one I've ever made from scratch. I'm sure I've made the packet ones, but with your homemade ones, at least you know exactly what's in the ingredients. Okay, hi everybody. It's literally been a week since that last clip and the melting cheesecake, and I have learnt a few things. Firstly, it could be that I over whisked it. Could be that it was my own cream cheese. I am actually in the middle of making more yogurt stroke what will become cream cheese, and I'm going to try it again. Is my base rock hard? Obviously, I'm hoping that you'll give me some tips on the base, because maybe I'm pressing down too much. I'm not sure. It tastes lovely, it's just it's rock hard for when you dig your spoon in. So how to rescue a melting cheesecake? So obviously what happened was that it just got really, it just melted even in the fridge, And I googled it, and apparently the only rescue you can really do is to freeze it. So what I did was I kind of got back this, because it's a spring form thing, because it was still luckily sat on the base of the spring form cake. So I put it back into the spring form cake tin, tightened it, got it in there. It was a bit of a messy job actually, but lots of cream cheese to kind of eat as a consequence of it kind of being very messy. But it was the only way to rescue it. There's no way it could have stayed in there without needing a bowl. It was that kind of melting, and the biscuits had to all come off. So what I did was I obviously put it back in the springform cake tin. I sprinkled more of that dusting, that biscuit dusting that you saw earlier, onto the top of it, obviously removing the biscuits because they're pointless at this point. They did all get eaten, teenage boys and all that. And then I wrapped it up and put it in the freezer. So we have since been eating quite a bit of that frozen ice cream cheese. But what we didn't do was let it sit out for a while and soften. We kind of just ate it frozen. I'd like to try and get it out of the freezer, let it sit for half an hour or more. I'll time it and see what kind of consistency it gets to. That's really what we're going to try here. So let's see what's left. I'm going to get it out of the freezer, show you what's left, what it looks like, and then we're going to let it sit on the counter and slowly warm up, really defrost a little bit, and see what consistency how close is it, ice creamy cheesecake, and then I'll taste test that. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. And apparently, I mean, it happens a lot to people. There was Reddit stuff all over the place about how to deal with your a failed cheesecake, essentially. So it's quite good to know what to do with it if it does fail. But it's great to try. And I much prefer making my own cheesecake. So let's get this out. So I did kind of wrap it up so that it didn't get freezer burn in one of my bog standard. And sort of used a little plastic paper cover so the plastic bag didn't cover it because that's not food safe. But this essentially is what, I mean, it's solidly frozen, but there's the base. Oh geez, it is drippy. And that's it, completely frozen. Let me just get it on the plate because it's this is what's left. Come and have a better look of the camera. Yeah. And there is what's left. So I am going to let this sit out. Let's look at the time, 10:37. So we're going to 30 minutes, and I'll be back and see what it's like and whether or not I'm trying to find out how long I can leave it out for before it becomes kind of like a cheesecake, but not melting. So let's time that. So 10:37. Okay, look at the time, 1:12. So I've got sidetracked, okay? I got sidetracked. The good thing is that means it's been defrosting for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. So let's see how it is now. It's looking at good. Oh my gosh, cheesecake style consistency. Wow, right, that's going to be our taste test. Right, well, I mean, it's a kind of great way to rescue a failed cheesecake. Freeze it 100%, and then it kind of takes roughly 2.5 hours to get it to cheesecake consistency. But what we were doing is we were cutting our slices when it was completely frozen, and in a way you can make your cheesecake really last. You don't have to take the whole thing out, just cut what you want, let that defrost for 2.5 hours, and then hey presto, you've got yourself a saved cheesecake. And I mean, look, that actually is, I'm actually quite pleased with that, because that's feels like it's kind of become a cheesecake again rather than a sloppy melted mess. So here goes. It's cold, but its consistency is exactly like a cheesecake. Look, I mean, can you see? It's just soft. Oh, my base is so hard. I don't know why. Really, really yummy. I'm really pleased I managed to rescue it. 55p a slice. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I've got to dish this up. Everybody's having a slice, because once it's out, you can't kind of refreeze it or anything like that. You could probably put it in the fridge, but I'm not sure whether it will kind of continue to kind of melt. It might do. So this is optimum time to eat cheesecake once it's kind of got to that nice consistency. Just want to say a massive thank you to Mandy of Olives Trees. Hold on, she sent me this. Mandy, thank you so much for this. I tell you something, you're going through chemotherapy and you're trying to run a channel. You're based in Australia. I'll put a link in the description to your channel. But you made me lavender bags. Now the funny thing is I was actually talking to Al the other day saying, because we have lavender but we cut it all back, it's not the right time. Oh my God, that smells. I wish you could have smellfish, but look, you actually put my for Kerry. Oh, absolutely beautiful. And these are going in my you know, your drawer, everyone has it, a drawer of your sheets and duvet covers. But I was actually saying to Al, I need to make some myself because I really needed, because you know, I need them to smell nice. And you went and sent me these. I had absolutely no idea that you did ask if you could send me something, and that was, I really appreciated your offer. And I think you've actually hand stitched that yourself. That's absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really touched, Mandy. You have a lovely cooking channel. You're kind of making your own recipes, but you are, like I said, you've got a big battle on your hands, and you're doing so well. So keep it up. Got that Australian spirit. Really have, and like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to your channel. Please go and check her out. Go follow her. She needs her channel to get monetized. So it needs to reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you could help out at all, I'd be more than grateful. And she's going to do her best to produce in between her medical side of things. Yeah, thanks everybody, and don't forget to check out my other channels, Nom Nom Reviews. I've just reviewed a Weatherspoon's breakfast, and then my other channel, Green Trails and Coffee Tales. I've actually just released a Colchester Castle walkabout, and a lovely coffee in toast. Payne's milk they use, so it's Bovaer free. Not so much their toasties, because I tried to find out, they didn't know where their cheese comes from. They did try. Becky, who was the sort of contact, she did really try to find out, but her suppliers didn't know. I think that's her suppliers can't be bothered to answer the question, but hey, that's another story. So we're gonna crack on and finish this cheesecake. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Mandy, again for my beautiful lavender bags. Absolutely love them. Take care, everybody. See you on the next one. Bye.